Boat tweet. Alrighty. Starting up now. Grab the link. Which, at least string cord's actually on top of it. I know in the past that has been a bit of a problem point for some folks, but that seems to be working itself back in working favor. Good evening all. Time to do a little hacking Digimon Cyber Sleuth. Hacker's memory. Now did that loop not stolen save? Okay. That's Gucci then. You good there? You want to play the ad? Cool. Where is it? Yeah. If we're going to promo, we should probably do it properly. Welcome in, Frank. Hopefully the evening's running well so far on your side. I'm just getting my usual stuff done in terms of promoing and such, but how are things on your side so far? Oh, that's embarrassing when you level up off of a promo post. Katsu, I'm so sorry, bud. Dude. Welcome in, Solace. Hopefully you were able to at least enjoy a bit of a rest day this time. I'm going to assume that you weren't exactly able to, but at the very least, hopefully you can going forward. Delete. Delete. There we go. Other than wasting my time playing CC and Arknights going well. I'm assuming you're doing CC at least, Frank. Hopefully the event hasn't been hurting you too much. Admittedly, I'm just fairly bad at the... I keep wanting to say closed captioning, but I'm really bad at like keeping up with CC. Oh, Triple S. Yeah, the SSS is a complete dumpster fire. One that Solace knows pretty well because he needed to go through that. I skipped it because I completely forgot about it. But yeah, that thing is a wee bit of a problem. I'm assuming that we have a little bit more time to actually finish that up, right? And then I guess in Dewey's server. Let's see. I do it until I get angry at it, and then I end the run until the next cycle. I'd say that sounds about right, to be completely honest. I've been a wee bit preoccupied, so I know that I've been a little bit lax when actually getting stuff done in there. Oh boy, where the hell did I leave off? Also, the game got significantly quieter. Apologies about that, I'll fix that in a moment. Oh. This new controller cord is very much a problem right now. It's still very twisty, and I'm not having a very good time. There we go. Not having a very good time of keeping it straight. Let's see here. How's the screen looking? We Gucci? Cool. We Gucci. Lovely. No need to max out the rewards since I'm not doing everything I have anyways. Yeah, I can't really see a problem with that, Frank. I guess once you are done with the SSS stuff, and I'm probably going to have to be very careful when vocalizing these sentences, otherwise something's going to hit me. But once you're actually done with the mode, what's your plans? Just because I know that... Oh, right, it's a jump down. Once you're done with that mode, you've got a good bevy of just open stages available for you to grind and gather stuff for. No, wrong button. I want speed. Thank you. Like having my run-in shoes. Just to check. Find the culprit on under Kowloon 3. Okay. So we are in the right area. I just gotta find him. Which I believe is why I was coming back here. Should be fine. Bob. Let's see, I just stocked up on chips at the beginning of CC and have been grinding rocks since. I mean, it's always a good thing to eat rocks. The denizens of this world seem to have a fascination with eating them. So you gotta make sure you keep stock up pretty high. Otherwise, well, Mudrock is just going to eat them all or turn them into friends. And then Bagpipe's gonna end up planting them thinking they're potato seeds. But definitely understand that. Rocks is one of the more annoying things to actually grab. I know that on my end right now, I'm just kind of farming the... the chip maps. I'm trying to get a lot of the caster... Well, yeah, just specifically the caster dual chips, just because I want to try and do caster knights. But a lot of my casters aren't much built past, like, E1 level 1, skill level 1, so I've got a wee bit of work to do there before I can accurately get that figured out. Dude. Oh, whoops. I actually encountered a battle at the exact same time a screen transition was meant to happen. Okay, that's fine. Oh, wait, Kay's here. Wait, why are you here? You really think you can get away from me? Oh, well, he's just instantaneously hacked. Okay. That's what you get for taking the demon's keys. Now repent for your crimes in the real world. Oh, okay. Why are you here? That's a pretty good question. You can pretty much live on Snipe Knights with buffs 95% of the time anyways, and Triple S is where you kind of need casters, though, since the design is so horrid. Yeah, unfortunately. But that's partially why I want to try out Caster Knights. Sniper Knights and Guard Knights does tend to be, like, the easiest way to get through most content. But in terms of, like, going through the main story plot lines, I want to see what stages you can do just as Caster Knights. Because I know that I've already hit some walls, if only because some of the earlier knights kind of just... or the earlier stages just have wolves immediately charge the gate. So you can't 3-star them at all. But you can probably finish them, just you can't 3-star them, which is annoying. Let's see, defense scales, res always stays the same. Oh, okay. So arts is straight up the way to go in Triple S. I'm going to assume arts guards are pretty helpful then too. So getting like Asbestos or Durnar? I think Durnar's the more competent 4-star arts guard that people use. Mouse. Yes, you have a mildly obvious bias towards mouse, but that's definitely... Yeah, arts defenders. Sorry, I keep calling them arts guards, don't I? That is English failure on my half, but I'm assuming the arts defenders are fairly helpful. I just call them arts guards because they're literally people standing with doors that stop people from coming at you. So they're guarding everything. It's moose, not mouse. Yes, it is moose, isn't it? Gotta make sure to get some antlers for the girl just so I don't get confused all the time. Don't know why she dresses up like a cat. It's so out of place. But the arts guards, then, are very helpful with moose. Surtur, obviously. Surtur's useful in friggin' everything. And... God, what is the other girl's name? Who's the starry 5-star girl? Because I swear I've used her, but... Dude. Aya's English VA doesn't help and she calls her mouse. Thank you, Aya. You're making life a hell of a lot easier for everybody. Astasia, that's it. Thank you. I do very much like her visual design. And I'd be tempted to use her more, because, like, I'm not going to steal Solace's waifu. That'd be rude of me. And Surtur is obviously good, but she's too good. So I'd kind of want to try to use some of the other arts guards just to see how good they can be. Dude. Oh, this is actual trivia. What color's your friend Yunogi's hair? That's rude. I'm gonna say mauve, just in case. Arts guards actually aren't all that helpful in Triple S either. Really? Is it the block count? Just the fact that they've only got the one? Could you not kind of... Actually, that kind of depends on the maps. But does that mean that you couldn't, like, pair up an arts protector and just have an arts guard nearby to poke at them? And lack of burst options outside of Surtur. Yeah. Surtur is kind of just the be-all, end-all when it comes to, hey, you want something to die on the ground? Here you go. Let's do that first. And that's partly why I just built Surtur first, because she seems like one of the simpler, hey, I need something to die, please, thank you. Which has been helpful for some of the past events, but... I mean, I'll bring you. It's been helpful for some of the past events, but, like, the last event that we had with Minimalist and that entire boss, she was functionally pointless for most of it. Because I ended up needing to get a... Who did I need? I needed a Chalter, I'm pretty sure, to actually get the last map done with Minimalist. Lower ally speed. Okay, that's fine. For the record, I don't use Surtur S3. That's probably a good thing, Frank. It kind of feels like a Surtur S3 is kind of relying on an easy button. Which, I mean, all the power to two people. And it's helpful when you, like, need her as an answer. But relying on it becomes a problem. May as well just punch. I know when I do end up using her, unless I'm just stuck at a point where I need the S3 to finish the map because most of my kit just isn't built enough to do the maps, I try to use her S1 a good bit. Surtur S3 is like dropping a god on something, but it does make you tactically lazy. Yeah, exactly. She's an answer, but she's like the very low-brained, obvious answer that you'd get from going to the teacher's home computer and taking the answers off of it. Can't drop off? Okay. Which is why I wanted to do Caster Knights, because I want to, like, get my tactical side back. I've been playing this game for so long, but I'm really not doing a very good job of actually understanding my units and doing a good job of actually placing them, aside from just obvious, oh hey, Chalter go here, Chalter go bang, ha ha funny. And I just need to get a little bit conceptually better at it. So I'm just kind of building up units right now. I used it for the range on the last CC, but I could have just used Silver Ash. I just like looking at her casual skin. That is fair. Surtur is probably a good person to look at the end of the day. Although Silver Ash is nothing to scoff at either. Huh. Cat. I guess this is the Solace Hacker group then. Lovely. And you're dressed up like Bee. Oh, team leader. I do enjoy my Pirate Silver Dad. I think a lot of people end up enjoying Pirate Silver Dad, but I think Silver Dad in general just kind of has captured enough people's hearts. And I think that's kind of the idea, at least when it comes to Sash. If only because his S3 with the swing, the fact that out of context this would sound so awful. Yes, his swing is what brings all the boys to the yard, but he's just helpful overall, so it's just kind of nice to have Silver Ash for a deceptively long-range affair. Oh, I do have to be careful with what I'm saying. We're not having sex with Silver Ash, I swear, YouTube. I miss the days when people called Schwing the broken skill of the game. I mean, that's kind of just what the power creep is at the end of the day, right? Like, Schwing was fairly powerful and obviously ran a lot of the maps, but now we've got Surtur S3 with her Volcano Daddy, and we've got Chalter with her water guns, and we've got Thorns with his really nasty coffee he pours on his sword. And then I think we're about to get a Samurai Dad that's going... Oh. One of the emblems got taken? That can happen? Huh. Coming up, we have Mwinner. Yeah, Mwinner, the new samurai guard who just kind of murders everything. Schwing is still one of the most versatile on-demand. Oh, they can just steal that back. Okay. Schwing is still one of the most versatile on-demand clearing skills, though, plus the stealth reveal as a situational bonus. The stealth reveal is definitely helpful. I'm just gonna do that. Mainly because I enjoy the concept of having Horn skill. What skill is that for Horn? Is it Horn skill 1 or Horn skill 2 that does the illumination grenade? I do kind of like the concept of bringing Horn to various things, if only for that reason. Horn S1 illuminates. Okay, yeah. I have a mild bias towards the... I keep just wanting to call them the Mortar Defenders, but what is their actual class title? It's Fortress Defenders, right? I have a just unhealthy love of Fortress Defenders, and I'd like to try and use them more on maps, but you obviously can't really do... I think Defender Knights is relatively easy too, but I would like to see what you could do with, like, having those as your main DPS for Defender Knights, and only those. So not worrying about things like... What are the other ones? Because I know... Not Neural. Regular Neural is just a healer. I believe they end up using... God, why am I faulting so hard on names? Blemshine, that's it. Blemshine is useful in Defender Knights. Sari is super fucking useful in Defender Knights. Well, that's not good for you. Change you out for you. There we go. Here I am, still trying to make Tachanka work. I mean, you'll eventually get Tachanka to work relatively well, Solace. Blemmy might as well be DPS. She honestly should be. She kind of rides that weirdly fine line of, yes, she does do defense, but she does a lot of the other categories fairly well, too. It's kind of like how Kaltsit, like, she is functionally a healer, but she's also a summoner, and all of her skills revolve around that. If you ask me, Fortress Defender is a bit more fun to use than most AoE snipers, though I have an unhealthy fascination with Fiametta's Mortar skill. Fiametta's Mortar skill is definitely an interesting one in terms of the ranged, like the splash shots. God, not spread shooters. Spread shooters, the shotguns. But she is definitely an interesting choice when it comes to wanting to get some AoE stuff out. If only because of the fact that she just keeps doing it forever. Also pair her with Mudrock S2 for extra bonk. Yeah, very true. Blemshine and Mudrock are clearly girlfriends, and should be shipped because they're clearly meant to be synergistic with each other. Let's see, I just realized it's just fun to thwomp. Yeah, the sound effect from Fiametta's Mortar Shot is excessive, but still helpful. Also, I have a feeling I shouldn't be getting into battles as much. So let's just put defense on here. Yeah, because every battle I'm just losing one. That's incredibly unhelpful. There we go. Let's see, it's a super good skill on certain stages, but I don't think it's worth mastery. The gains from investing in it are so few. I can't say you're wrong in that, Frank. I just conceptually like it, but I so far haven't wanted to run Diameta S3, if only because that sound can get grating after a bit. Then I'm reminded I need to do some experiments with Chonka S2 and Auk S3. Chonka's a good candidate for Auk. I haven't actually seen much up to Chonka, just because I was playing around the point of the Rainbow Six Siege stuff, but I think I quit right before this event started, and then I joined back in after the event had long ended. But what exactly does Chonka do? I know he's a guard, and he's got a really weird range, but... Or, guard? Think guard. Because he's a guard with an assault rifle, from what I recall. I don't play with sound most of the time. Then you're definitely missing out on some very, very glorious sound effects, Frank. If only because the thwomp that ends up coming from... Why is that a drop-off point? There we go. Chonka is a sword master, so he strikes twice with each shot, and he has ranged upgrades on his talent. So he's a melee deployed sniper. Yeah, exactly. This is... Ugh. Okay, I guess I don't have just prevents enemy encounters yet. There we go. S2 drastically increases attack speed for 4 seconds? So massively increased attack speed, as well as Auk buffing, which, as long as he can survive it, which, considering he's a guard sword master, then he should be fine in that regard. And I guess, as long as you just buff his defense slightly to survive Auk, you're good. Ah, that's where the fourth one is. There we go. And targets randomly, which is what makes it more questionable. I guess for a sword master, that's probably fine then, right? Because they only have 2 block anyways. So if he's attacking in lightning speed, then you probably don't have to worry too much about who he's targeting if he's just gunning everything down anyways. But I could be wrong. I might be reading this entire situation off. There we go. He has like 4 range, so there's a lot of cases where some of this isn't an issue. He also shoots 3 tiles ahead. Yeah, it's a little bit silly, isn't it? But this is kind of what happens when you just have someone with... I'm assuming he's got something similar to an AK, or maybe an LMG kind of gun. But, like, for a... Oh yeah, you've got 2 kitties. He has an LMG? Okay. So yeah, then, for an LMG, it makes some sense, at the very least, that he's just spraying and praying. Ooh, DP28, okay. You has the frog? Okay, you, if you want to have the frog, I'm not going to fault you. Let's see here. What else would help to Chonka out of a good bit? I guess he's a guard. Who actually ends up buffing guards? Welcome in, stalling. Hopefully the evening's running well for you so far. We're just getting some Digimon stuffs done and discussing some Arknights, but how are things on your side? Ah, good job, buddy. You're trying. Just speed break you. Let's see. Guard Knights gives you a lot of options, if only because there are an infinite amount of guards. Frostleaf doesn't buff guards from what I recall. There is someone in the guard category that buffs other guards. It's just been a hot minute, so I'm not sure whom that may be. Up. Oh, 420. Nice. I guess get ready for that. We are kind of slowly approaching April. Yeah, April. I had to double check that. There we go. Cat friend's done. I can't remember anyone that specifically guards buff. I swear there's at least one. There's a weird customer at the K-Cafe. It's not that I was eavesdropping, but I overheard what he said. Knows a waitress named Sachan at K-Cafe? Customer was hitting on her pretty hard. How do you think she handled it? She said, "I'm not on the menu." I told him back off. Pretty awesome, right? Also, those crone emotes. At least I think crone. Oh, that's on Klaus's. Whoops. I'm misreading. Right, Crone likes Ina more. Klaus likes Gura more. Gotta remember that. Been a hot minute. I think I need to be more like her. Don't know why I just told you all that. Oh, don't worry, you're cute. Somebody cooked here. Well, it's not me this time. I assure you, my meth days are behind me. But welcome in, Holger. Hopefully the evening's running well for you so far. We're just having some fun, getting some Digimoning done. But how are things on your side? Cute. Now, I think we've only got the one quest left, right? Yeah, just blind love. Which doesn't really give you anything super good, but... Friends become a recluse. Okay, should be fine. Let's see, it's going well. A bit sleepy, but all good. I'm going to assume that you're not getting the same rain that we're getting in the North American side of things, Holger, but if you are, then I completely understand. I've been wanting to fall asleep for most of the day now. Wanting to help my friend, he's earned a complete shut-in. And how's that happening? Oh. Oh, this man fell into idol culture and he's not willing to leave his home anymore. Okay. That's a good sign. Whole place was covered with Natsume Keshikawa posters. Ooh boy, okay, he's fallen off the deep end then. Remember, folks, if you're gonna go after idol culture, make sure you don't spend all of your money. This is a very dangerous slope, and it can create a significant amount of problems. His name's Toshio Inoi. Had a very obsessive personality, never likes going out. Oh, this case. Yeah, we're in the good old otaku case now. Actually, it's not otaku for idol fandom, is it? What's the word for idol fandom? This is not simp, although that's close. Let's see. We're gonna get some rain, but not as strong as it was in September to December. Okay, well, that's not too bad. Hopefully you do at least enjoy the rain when you do get it. Didn't I do it for you? Let's see here. Brain. I don't remember the tone for the meme right now, but unfortunately I don't have a Pinocchio nose. But welcome in, Nano. Hopefully the evening's running well on your side so far. We're just having some fun with a little bit of Digimoning and talking about Arknights and various other dealings, but how are things on your side so far? Well, no guards that specifically bother the guards, at least. Don't any other classes anything targeting guards. Probably something I'll have to double check on my own time, because I swear there's something that helps them. But I might be just getting the mix-up between, like, one of the flag bearers helping snipers, and that there was someone else who was actually coming out there. We need Jude with a big sniffer. Oh, Jesus. No. My nose isn't getting any longer. That would mean I'd have to tell a lie, Holger, and you know I never tell lies, right? Let's see, the bulk of the homework's off my back? Well, that's good. I'm going to assume that you're going to get dogpiled with more of it later, but it's good that you're at least getting through it so far. Case is a case, so you have to think of a way. If we help this guy, it might give us more clue on how to make Erica get out more. Don't recall me being ESL. Oh no. Please don't expel Nano, they're doing their best. That may be doable, but I'll choose to believe you, Jude. Alrighty, well, as long as you believe me for now. Keep saying it, the nose is already increasing. I certainly hope not. I'm trying my best to keep things relatively stable. I guess we'll kind of have to see as things go along. The closest thing you have is Gardamia buffing everyone's stats. Well, I guess that kind of counts. That's probably what I'm thinking of then. Although, Gardamia is kind of an oversight because she just kind of buffs everybody, right? I don't think that should count. And I guess to some extent, isn't Doberman a guard? Or am I mixing Doberman up with a specialist? But yeah, Doberman wouldn't count anyway. She just buffs 3 stars. And certainly doesn't count for what we're looking for. No. No, not exactly. Oh, the instructors are guards. Okay. I definitely never use the instructors, so I don't pay the closest attention to them, unfortunately. Probably should figure them out a little bit better, but for now, we'll just stick to caster knights. The world is magic, and it needs to destroy everything. Let's see, Palace is the only one worth using. And I don't have Palace either. We'll be on a date soon, but want to show support for you and possibly the last good Digimon game. Well, thank you very much for the lurk, Fran. Hopefully your date goes well. We'll probably still be here for a bit, but I'm going to assume that your date's going to go well, so enjoy and have a good evening. I wanted to like using Wishlash, but I usually just settle on using Palace. I'd say that's fair, to be completely honest. From what I recall, at least with the various instructor guards, Doberman buffs 3 stars. I think Wishlash has some helpfulness when it comes to the Kazimierz units, or Kazimierz? I don't fucking know how to say it. I speak English. But then, what does Palace end up doing? Swire and Wishlash are 2 of my favorite characters, and I just can't use them. Ugh. That's certainly not good. Wishlash buffs 3 block units. Oh, Wishlash blocks buffs defenders. Okay. And then Palace buffs anyone she stands behind. Okay. Well, Palace does seem like the most useful then, because I'd imagine you would do something that is functionally, you put a defender in front of her, then you have Palace in behind, or even if you want to just put like a Vanguard in front of her. Imagine putting Siege S2... S2? S2 or S3 Siege, having Palace behind her, that would be fun. Swire buffs universally around her, but her skills are awful. Eesh. That's certainly not good. I'm pretty sure I have Swire, right? I think it took a while, but... Guard. Let's see here. I do have Swire. Oh Jesus, the fact that she just has a weird skill 1 isn't a really good sign for her. The effect range of this unit's first talent expands, and the effect increases to 2 times. Okay, well that's gonna require a check on her talent. Attack of melee allies on the 8 surrounding tiles by 8% when she's deployed. Okay. So she needs to have her bodyguard squad then. Let's see, her S2 would be good if it wasn't on SP attack. S1 isn't necessarily bad, but it's just not enough of a buff. No. Because I know at least just looking... The effect increases to 2 times, so it would be like 16% then? Shoot. And then attack plus 30, and the effect of the unit's first talent is increased by 2.1. Okay. Oh, so she needs 10 deployed. How funny, they don't get along. Yeah, at the very least, Swire kind of seems like someone you would place in like the middle of an area and then just surround her with things. But that still doesn't seem like the best option for you. Oh, cool. Lovely. And then her module upgrade helped her with her SP issues a bit on IS2, but again, not enough. Oh, Swire. Girl. You're like the rich kid coming into the army, and Daddy can't pay you well enough for your skills right now. You're gonna have to do a little bit better on your own, honey. I promise. And Swire just goes behind someone like any other instructor. She would go behind anyone, but her buff does state like the 8 surrounding tiles. So you could theoretically also do the like the 3 spaces in front of her. So if you have something that goes back into a column and you put Swire there, and then you basically just have 3 people guarding in front, because I've seen a couple maps that do that. It's definitely not common, but it's there. Oh wait, this is farm territory. Farm. Train. Get stronger, please. And I probably should check, but are they actually getting ability by doing this? Or does it require them to lose cam to actually get ability? Oops. They are getting ability, because I certainly didn't do that to them. It takes a hot while, though. Okay, good enough. I mean, this is nice in theory, but you're using a lot of deployment slots for one section. You're not wrong, Solace. The idea, at least in my head, is if you were doing something like Guard Knights and you wanted to try and, like... Oh, wow, the hitbox on that combo does not work well. Thank you, Holger, for the coolant and the hat. We're going to need that for the rain that's coming up. Some nice antifreeze. Gotta love it. Now, let's see here. What was I about to say there? The idea would be if you're trying to do, like, low-tier Guard Knights, so that way you avoid all the 6 stars and you're just trying to use, like, the 3, 4, 5s, and maybe not even all of the 5s, because I'm pretty sure there are some of the 5... Ow. Okay, there's a headache waiting to happen. Thank you, Stalling. But if you're trying to do low-tier Guard Knights, then Swire may be able to help you a little bit, because then you'd be stuck with Frostleaf instead of Silver Ash. And we all know that as much as cute as Frostleaf is, she's just cute as a button. She's not that useful, unfortunately, even though she's featured in the story. Like, I'd love to give Frostleaf at least some credit, but her usefulness is like 1 stage at most. Ooh, this is a fun little place. Well, let's see, what have I been doing? I've been trying to do some slightly silly things so far when I've been building, because I do tend to just bring Asbestos along when I'm doing my maps. And then just having her as like the main defender unit when I'm actually trying to block people. It works out sometimes, which I'm at least pretty cool with. Also the babies. Let's see here. To be honest, I think I used Midnight more than Frostleaf. Yeah, Midnight is usually a better guard than... Midnight's very much a better guard than Frostleaf is. Mainly because his skill does turn his damage into arts damage when skill is up, and it's up fairly often. And yeah, he's dirt cheap, which, badumch, considering he runs a nightclub. But dirt cheap, he's got a very helpful skill when you just need to have arts damage in a pinch and ranged from the ground. And Frostleaf has what? She's got range. She's got an ice-based weapon. What else does the girl get? Can't even see her because her stuff blends in too much now. Let's see here. Attack speed plus 36. Reduces movement speed by 42% with a 25% chance to bind, which has its usefulness. And then deals a good chunk of attack and reduces movement speed. So, yeah, she's good if you need to slow someone from the ground, but... Random fun fact, percentage-wise, Frostleaf has some of the highest gains in the game from Mastery. Not that it makes her useful, but it's comical. Oh no, Frostleaf, poor baby. Mastery adds a ton to her S2, but it's still just a bad skill. Unfortunately, yeah. But she's cute. And if you are forced to do low-tier Guard Knights, then you can't just have Midnight for long-range damage. You're gonna kinda need to get Frostleaf in there to help you out, just a smidge. Oh, good biddy shoots on those. Also, her spine is broken in her skin. Oh yeah, it is. I didn't even notice that. Poor girl. Now I feel bad for actually having that skin on there the entire time. I just kinda have to. It's purple, you know? I have to rep the purple. It's just who I am. Oh. Oh, that's why this is a 4-star fight. That could be a problem. It's such a nice outfit. It honestly is. It just mildly sucks that she's going to have to go into the hospital after she's actually done standing in that pose. Poor girl is not ready for it. Speaking of nice outfits, Solace is ready. Maybe she'll get an altar someday. Honestly, she should, right? She's got a fairly prominent point in the early game story. And aside from, like, the 3-star squad, out of the 4 stars, it does make some sense, considering how useless she is, and how prominent she is in the story, considering her specific trait during her infection is just being able to handle the cold a bit better. So maybe she could become another cold caster. Maybe not a mecha cord caster like Kiera, but, like, something closer to a core caster like Aya, maybe? And she focuses more on ice than fiery things? Because if she's already got the ability to just embolden the cold energy into something, you may as well put it to some use. Because out of the cold units that we've got right now, we've got Aurora, we've got Kiera, and we've got Gnosis. So we've got a supporter, a caster, and a defender. So, arguably speaking, yes, we could use a guard that does cold damage. We could use a Vanguard with cold, technically, if you want to do something like the Tactician, where the pet does cold damage, maybe? You could have something along the guards where she just stays as the Lord, but she just gets better. Yeah, in Chapter 4 shows she's no joke as a fighter. Yeah, exactly. Like, she stands up to friggin' Frost Nova. Frost Nova's no goddamn joke. She could drop into Cantabelle's archetype. You'd want her to be a ninja? I could see that, actually. Yeah. Oh, I actually need to get you out of here for Tiger Vesp. And then, honestly, get Cress out for Sister? Yeah, it should be good. Keep some range, add cold somehow. Agent is the name of the archetype? Oh, I know. I know, Frank. I don't care. That is the ninja archetype, and you're not going to stop me on that front. That would be neat. I was thinking Executioner, but that works too. I could definitely see it, but it's definitely going to be one of the more awkward ones to get across, I feel. But I could see an agent with some form of just cold application, because what does Cantabelle actually do? Like, in terms of her skills. Because it's generating DP with skill up whilst attacking, right? After deployment, attack plus 40%, generate 1 DP after each attack, and it's a passive for 13 seconds. Speed break? Agents are fast redeploy DP generators. Yeah. I could definitely see it as an option, but I do feel like another category may suit her better. I'm just not sure what off the top of my head. Executor would definitely be interesting, though. I'd be fine with that. Helpless. What does Helpless do? Weird. Can I not use items on them? No, I can target with that still. That's super weird. Let's see. That's a pretty clouded class, though. I don't think we need more of them. That's definitely... A support skill is nullified. Okay, so the speed up just doesn't apply while he's helpless. Thank you. I've had a few of these that just don't make the most sense, because they never seem to actively affect anything, but that makes sense. Let's see. Oh yeah, I mean the same archetype as Red and Gravel. Oh, okay. Oh, not that? Oh, wait. Support skill. These, you mean? What even is Haildramon's support skill? Increases damage given by 20, but also increases damage received by 20. Okay. So that's honestly fine. Waiting for the right time to strike Jude. I mean, when it comes down to it, Holger, there's not really going to be a right time. You're kind of just going to need to swing for it when you have the option for it. Well, I mean, I guess if he's not doing much damage, then I as well just keep that up. And then Moxhanger to finish it. We've trained our Super Sentai B to a fairly good level now. Although getting some kind of defense drops to go along with Tiger Vespiamon would probably help. As well as hit up. I think we've got hit up on someone on our squad, though. We just didn't need to use it here. Let's see, what other classes would work? She could work as, like, the class Bagpipe and Reed are, as well, right? The Chargers? Because Bagpipe obviously has her giant F-off gun lance, and Reed has her fiery-ass spear. So, what would happen if you gave Frostleaf a cold spear? Off-brand Kamen Rider, exactly. Sometimes we just need to get away with a little bit of copyright infringement, and then we'll be able to save the day. The only way I can win other fans is by brainwashing, and probably don't have what it takes. No, Lotusmon, you probably don't. Like, idol culture is kind of about brainwashing people, but not, like, literally. So you're gonna have to stop that, please and thanks. But yeah, I could see a Frostleaf altar going in a few directions, to be honest with you. If they're gonna do anything for her, she has to have cold proc on either her... She has to have just cold proc based on her skills in general. But, like... You'd have to have a class that would work for that. And considering she's a Lord right now, you could do a few things. Would a Sniper work? You could probably get a... What would it be? Like, Cruce, the anti-air snipers? Would there be any anti-air snipers that would be able to have, like, a status effect applied to their skills? Because that would at least be unique. Attacking stupidly fast, getting cold procs off relatively simply, just to help out with spreading cold around. She'd pair up very well with Aurora at that rate, just because things would be permanently frozen, and then Aurora can just beat them to death with the goddamn sledge she carries around. What else could you do with her, though? It'd be interesting to see an altar that's a flag bearer. Not necessarily just for Frostleaf, but just in general. Because just having Myrtle, Elysian, and Sileach, while interesting, it'd just be interesting to see an altar flag bearer and see what the hell they would even do with that. Oh. Oh no, what would they even do? Myrtle's the ultimate flag bearer in terms of DP generation? Well, at least is what we've seen with Sileach and... Also, I'm apologizing if I'm pronouncing these names horribly wrong. Elysium and Sileach. Sileach at least has, like, the healing aspects of her kit, just so that way she can help defend people by, like, raising the flag and supporting them. She's got the low cost of a 4-star, and S1 has a standard scaling regardless of rarity. What about a 5-star altar? Like the altars we've been getting for the 3-star crew. And I guess now we're going to be getting one for Gray as well, and that's also 5-star from what I recall, right? The Flinger Gray with his EMPs. But if you get a 5-star flag bearer altar of somebody, I could kind of see Frostleaf, sorry. I still want Frostnova as a goddamn unit. But Frostleaf is a flag bearer. She does at least have a pole arm to start with, which is kind of what you need for a flag bearer. But aside from just somehow giving a cold aura, but that wouldn't work very well with a flag bearer, or at least how most people use them. It has to be something relating to the cold. Like, it has to be something of Frostnova doing her overkill to Frostleaf, and then just giving her some better control over that ice power that she has in the first place. So Flag Bearer probably isn't what you would need there. But it'd have to be something weird. It has to be something relating to the cold, at least. And at least if you're looking at the various arts methodologies, you could do something maybe with a sniper. Caster is obviously just open to anything, and a core caster would make sense in this case. You could do something silly like the Executioners, where she probably has a, I don't know, maybe 40% chance. Maybe kind of treat it like the S2 on Red, where she gets a buff for a certain period of time after being deployed, where she has like a 40 to 50% chance per attack to apply cold to someone. And considering how goddamn fast they attack when they're dropped, that doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world. It's definitely going to be a little bit RNG heavy, but like that would at least make her semi-unique as an executor, or executioner, or however the heck that's supposed to be pronounced. You could do... Oh. Actually, hold up. What about a Doll Keeper? What if we have Frostleaf as a Doll Keeper specialist, and then what ends up happening is that when she gets knocked out, she's replaced with a snow version of herself that can apply slow and or cold. That way she would stick out a lot separately from the other Doll Keepers right now. And that would technically coincide with the fact that she almost died at the hands of Frostnova. Seems TF2 is getting an update around summertime this year. It is, thankfully. It's kind of interesting to hear that TF2 is actually going to be coming back in some way. But they're going to have to very much deal with the bot problem that that game has right now. Otherwise, people are just not going to want to have to come back to it. And, like, it'd be cool if people would come back to TF2. I want to play TF2 again. It's been something that I've played for a long time in my life. And actually, can I check how much I've played TF2 on my other account? Because it doesn't beat out Terraria, but it's up there. It's like my second most played game on Steam. Where's my games at? Is news, that is notifications. Oh, that's not helpful. On one hand, RNG is kind of interesting. On the other hand, RNG makes me want to throw my phone when the auto doesn't work. That's kind of where you would end up getting something where you would pair up the cold casters together, because that's usually... Oh, I didn't read what was going on. Fuck Nugget. Hello. I guess I need to look around Eden. I probably should have been reading that instead of chat. I'm sorry, Jude, no bots allowed. Well, it's too bad for them. I'm gonna play their damn game. It's just a very silly and fun shooter that I don't really have to worry too much about. Ah! Why is this here? And it's Date giving the quest. What? Does some pumpkin Shinjuku go help out, but try to avoid attracting attention? Something isn't right. Okay, this is a story quest. Noted. Also, thank you, Stalling, for the dice. Apologies. I'm making it a little bit harder to play as a video game. Some Mr. Navet lore. Yeah, we get some little bit lore on our toaster buddy here. We'll kind of have to see how this actually goes. Is that for Date? Hello. Are you sure we can trust him? The fact that he's with Hubby chose him says all we need to know. That being said, give me a moment. Expect nightmare fuel? Oh yeah, we had nightmare fuel the last time with this, didn't we? Well, I guess we'll see if he's still just running around like a madman in that outfit. Or at the very least, if he got some tights to actually go along with it. Alright, Jude. Sure about this guy? He looks like a bit of a joker. I guess we'll find out. Okay, well, Matayoshi doesn't really believe in us. No, this is just me this time. Yeah, they're being awfully fucking rude. Like, I was sent here for the job in the first place. Oh no. Let's see. Draw Giorno and Giovanna. References including unlike batteries for toys. In return, I must draw a character of your choice. What? Holger, what are you doing? Where might these references be? Because I know Giorno Giovanna, but what might you be talking about? Let me cook. Holger, when you're pressing that button, the meal's got to be on the table, buddy. Alrighty, well, I'll at least wait for you to do your cooking, at least. We gotta figure out why Date is insulting us anyways. Jesus. Suspects arrived? Oh, yeah, he has arrived. Hello there, Mr. Nabbit. That thing again. Something like that chased you around Ikebukuro? That's not what our intelligence said. According to what we heard, it just stands completely still all day long. Doesn't do anything. It's as if it's just killing time in Shinjuku. So there's multiple of these things? Oh no, if there's a group of these people dressed up as the Mr. Navitz, that is incredibly a big problem. Might be right. The look in its eyes, it's no amateur. What look? It doesn't have eyes. Date is very much not caring about the character in this game at all. And I'm kinda down for it. It has ease. Honestly, if it's looking out of the ease, then that's a very good touch, but... Alrighty, it's done. Okay. And, oh, okay, there it is. It might seem familiar. Huh. Okay. I mean, I can try. Let's get some stuff out here. Dude, this music still works for this, to be honest. Bup. Tablet pen. This is probably going to take us a bit. Dude. Open up CSP. New. Copy that. I will also bring you into the loop when I actually get everything set up, so don't worry, I just don't want to accidentally show any naughty things by looking at my Discord. Let's see here. Copy image. Okay, from thing. Put that here. There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, this is what I meant by dragging you into my side of drawing. Don't shoot me. Well, we'll have to see, Holger. Because there's a slight difference between dragging you into your thing and trying to get me to draw things that I'm not able to draw. But we'll figure it out. Oof. Gonna have to draw a really square jawline for this one. Good. And that. Okay. So let's see here. How do we want to start this? Dude. Probably good. Alright, so let's see here. So, gotta get your head in. So we start with... I hit the alt. God damn it. Start with a little circle. I know this is JoJo styling, so I should probably be drawing a square, but let's see what we can do first. Don't necessarily have to follow the sharp angles, soften if you must. But he's Giorno. He's supposed to be a hard-boiled kind of guy at the end of the day, right? Let's see if we can actually get this angle right. Also, I'm assuming this is slightly in reference to the frog scene to some extent. Also, I kind of want to do this for it, to be completely honest. Because we're going to kind of have to get... It's going to look weirdly ghastly, I think. Thicken that out a bit. Then we'll get... that... Do we even have a thing of his tongue? How lengthy is this boy's tongue? Tisk tisk, Holger, you didn't give me a reference of his tongue. Gonna have to dock 5 points from Gryffindor for that one. Dude, I'll figure it out. Dude. You don't necessarily have to follow the harsh angles. You actually care. Oh, right, during the initial scene. Yeah, I remember that part for him at the very least, when he's trying to join in Passion, and the mob boss is kind of like, hey, keep this lighter lit for 24 hours, or else Black Sabbath is going to completely murder your ass. Let's see here. Can we draw a nice little tongue for the lad? Probably not, but... And to about here. Kind of hard to see where the tongue is coming out in that little reference image, but kind of have an idea of this. Good. That's why there's a pose reference with a character reference. They blend. Pose reference. They do blend a good bit, yeah. That's partly why I have this up, but... Actually, I guess that would be the proper angle, wouldn't that be? This is going to end up being weirdly seductive at the end of the day, isn't it? That's fine, though. Maybe make this a little bit less. Earnose mouth isn't super big. There. Get this. Make that a bit bigger. Now his hair is definitely a little bit weird to get in. There. Then goes in, then up. And then Girno's eyes would be about in this area, so then the three little dongles of his hair would be about here? I want to say? Can't really think of a better word than what I'm thinking right now, so I am not gonna say what I think his hair looks like. Because I at least want to give Girno a little bit of respect. I'm gonna assume I need this. There we go. Donut hair? Yeah, sure. Let's go with donut hair. Probably the better way of actually explaining that. Let's see here. This will also look a little bit weird since I'm starting with these, but it'll come together, don't worry. And I guess as a question, Holger, but did you want to grab a reference for the Black Sabbath lighter, or do you think that'll matter here? Because I assure you, I know a wee bit about JoJo's, because I watch some various compilations from time to time, but don't know everything. Let's see. Considering this is part 5, we've got a stud and a band. We've got poor posture, of course, as is native to most Italian gang members. There we go. Hole here, and hole here. This part will go back slightly into that weave. And Girno's hair is just a wee bit spiky. Nothing super major, but something to keep in mind. Black Sabbath. Yes, I like it. I've never drawn a stand before. I'd been thinking about drawing Stone-Free a while back. Stone-Free does at least seem like a fairly easy one to get done. From what at least I recall of the Stone Ocean cast. But I'm not 100% certain in that degree, because I am not the main JoJo stan here. I know it exists and I would like to watch it, but it's very difficult for me to actually get the time and to actually get through part 3, so you can imagine my trouble with trying to actually keep up into part 6. Let's see here. He's just going to be sitting there, so realistically his ponytail thing... Whoops, no. Would kind of just exist in this anyways. Let's see. I'll do the Sabbath. There's a specific pose you want for it. Can you do Black Sabbath doing the Iku disco pose? Or just the general disco pose that comes with that? Wow, he's actually got the same eyebrows too. Might be better to do this then. Because then we can get seductive eyebrows in. The what? Okay. That could have been bad. I do have some hentai on the Twitter. 1 second. There you go, Holger. That pose. Let's see here. And how does one draw Joe? Whoops. Had the wrong emotion on. How does JoJo noses work? Oh. They're weirdly flat when they're viewed from like a 1/3 angle. But then they get pointy the more you get to the side? Okay. So then... And then this kind of just comes back up for the bottom section of that. Actually. Brush motif. We will have one angry eye on this side, which will need to be in a slightly seductive pose. So this will be partially closed, as you do. And of course, Giorno with his very fabulous eyelashes, being a JoJo and all. He's not free from that curse, no matter what he tries to do. That tongue also looks freaking massive. Brush. And then they all seem to have relatively full lips, so... I guess then what you'll end up doing with the mouth here... It almost feels like a French mustache, though. I'm off to bed. Have a good stream. Alright, sounds good, Solace. Enjoy your sleeps. We'll be here. trying to figure this stuff out. Google the stand and there's a smexy drawing of it almost at the top. Yeah, Black Sabbath I'm pretty sure is going to be a fairly, like, default one that you're going to run across. Okay, here. That out a little bit. This thing will probably just kind of sit by the side here, so this will probably just come from about here, which means the color reference will be a little bit better. I need to actually see what this thing is. Oh, it's just a short tail. That's a very short tail. Okay. Gyarados chilling in style, apparently. Then about here. And then just kind of goes into a nondescript loop. Water bottle, you are super heavily in the way. Cute. I'm just going to keep that as a donut for now. I'm not 100% certain how the logistics of tying one hair like that would be able to actually get it into a loop like that. Let's see here. Gooch. A little bigger. Yo, is this a JoJo reference? Apparently it is. Welcome in, Nick. Hopefully the evening's running well on your side so far. Holger was finally able to get his 10k point in, which he wants me to try and draw Giorno. Isn't really a skill that I normally have, but we're going to try and figure out if this works. How are things on your side so far? The evening treating you well? We drawing more fighting game characters? Not exactly, Omega, but welcome in. Hopefully the evening's running well for you so far. We're probably not going to take this as far as we did with the Iku doll, because this is not going to turn out in a good way, whether I like it to or not. But how are things on your guys' side so far? Is the evening treating you well? You getting to enjoy things a bit? Almost midnight here. Well, I'm alright. Well, it's good to hear that you're doing alright then. I know things can always get a little bit funky around this time of year, so as long as you're able to keep things relatively calm, then I'd say things were pretty Gucci. Let's see here, that does kind of just combine to about here to get into the titty window. Because of course all Joe stars need a titty window of some kind. There we go. Let's see. Too hot for me to sleep and it's raining? Ugh. That's certainly not good. Well, hopefully you're at least able to get to sleep eventually, Nick, just because I know it can be a little bit taxing when the heat's just a little bit too high. Actually, only Dio and Giorno have a titty window? Really? I thought Josuke has a titty window as well. Oh no, he just has a heart crystal in his jumper thing, doesn't he? Right. It's just our main man's here that has the titty window. Alrighty, well. Can't really fault it too much. that going. That's going to be covered by stuff. That's fine. And then this is straight, but I need to get a hand in here for the lighter too. So let's see here. He's going to be a nomin on that flame. So a flame is going to have to be flickering around here somewhere. Let me sketch this in red just so that way it's mildly obvious what this is supposed to be. Whoop. Too much. Lighter flame isn't this deep. There we go. Real Joestars only have very tight shirts. I guess you're not wrong there, Nick. Guess you're not wrong. And Jirno's decent in an all-star battle. He qualifies. I mean, yes, Omega. I can't fault that logic. But the concept was more to draw anime Jirno, not necessarily fighting game Jirno. Because we're not going to be worrying about his stand at all. If we have to worry about golden... Hold on, no. I should be better at stand names for the main characters by now, at the very least. Because Gold Experience, that's it. Gold Experience Requiem is when he actually evolves the thing. Gold Experience is just what it is at first. There. Get that going. I'm also sidetracking the fact that I'm drawing everything on the same layer still, so that's fine. Let's see here. Plunger. This thing is certainly too thick, but we're going to be drawing a fairly manly hand here anyways, so... manly hand. Start here, go up. Just to calculate this a wee bit better. Let's see. It's okay, my JoJo knowledge stops at Dio. You thought you were talking to a JoJo expert, but it was me, Dio! I don't remember anything from the anime nor the manga, but at the same time I remember everything about the anime and the manga. I think your memory is definitely doing a little bit better than mine is at the very least, Nick, so take pleasure in that at the very least. Let's see here. Technically speaking, this should be out more, but I guess this angle does just make it a little bit easier to get around a bit. And then the thumb is going to be here and behind the flame. We'll just pretend it's there. And then that will come up here, giving us our knuckle line. There we go. I even remember the names of the moves of the first part, but I don't remember what the power is called. The power from the first set of JoJo stuff, from what I recall, is called Hamon. It's like sunlight energy, which is why it's able to kill Dio and all them. Dio and cars very much need their sunscreen and they can't go out in the sunlight without it, unfortunately. At least if I'm remembering it right. And also feels way too goddamn big for this. Ouch. This. Then that goes to about there. And then one babby finger. Get a little bit of this cut off. And then you've got some sleevage, don't you? Yeah, you've got a little bit of sleevage. So that would come up to like here-ish into that band. Actually, no. This way. Here. Get that in. Also probably should just sketch this all on one layer, shouldn't I? Doesn't exactly matter here. Let's see, shoulders are fine. Giorno's obviously got better posture than this dude up here. So all we really got to worry about is the slight bagginess to it, I suppose. As well as those shoulders. If you're going to have defined shoulders, I'm not sure if putting it into your shirt is what matters the most, but you're rocking it at least, Giorno. And then this will be the collar, there'll be the gold bit there. Then the other shoulder will come out about here-ish. Into that same shoulder puff to it. We'll worry about his ladybug nipples a bit later. And it's like Giorno's going shopping for ice cream. Look at him go. Oops. Let's see here. This should probably have some folds in it as well. Oops. Let's see here. Then shoulder line or chest line will be there. Arm line. Damn it. I really need to unbind the ability to put Alt on the buttons on this tablet pen. That is excessively annoying. There. Oops. This has a small zipper going down it. We have to worry about his ladybug nipples. Which, if I recall correctly, they do at least hold a semi-important part to the story. I just don't quite recall what. There. There. And your little brooches shall be safe with us at the very least. Alright then, is there anything else I need to sketch before I try doing a very, very rough colored version of this? I don't think so. Ouch. Ow. Ow. Okay. The angle of the pose will be slightly altered, but still the same. Alright, sounds good, Holger. I think that's about as much as I need for what we're trying to do. I think. Not a very good reference sizing. Okay, yeah, it is that size anyways. Okay. I kind of feel like his lips should be smaller. At least the mouth size should be smaller. Oops. Oh. Little too small. Oh, okay. I guess tablet pen is not wanting to keep up with the stroke, so I gotta do this nice and slowly. That's always a good sign. Alright, let's see here. Slightly smaller. Oh, I'm drawing on the wrong thing. Cooking, do not disturb. Alright, thank you, Holger. Enjoy your cooking session. We'll be here. And I think the discussion of various JoJo bits has slightly derailed the chat a little bit. Mainly because I don't have much in the way of topics at the very least when it comes down to JoJolian-esque escapades, aside from the fact that we're primarily waiting on... We're not waiting on Stone Ocean to get finished animated, right? They are at least kind of looking into the next bit of the series, I think, if I recall right. But I do know that people actually like it, which I think is what matters the most, at least when it comes down to JoJo-based shenaniganry. Here. There. go. See, anything Netflix is off limits for me, but I hear nothing but good stuff. Yeah, JoJo is a fairly good series to watch if you at least have the availability to do so. It's very much got similar feelings, at least in terms of the earlier stuff, to Fist of the North Star, so if you've ever wanted to get the feeling like that, then JoJo is kind of a good place to at least get started in that realm. Although later stuff is starting to break away from it, and that's not a bad thing, but it can at least feel a little bit different if you're not ready for it. This is just going to be a black hole anyway, so it doesn't really matter how scratchy it is. It will just be filled in. There we go. I legitimately do not need to get on that All-Star Battle Royale thing, though, before people quit playing it. I can't believe it's still got a $50 game not including DLC. Oh boy. I feel like All-Star Battle Royale should still have a community at this rate, right? Because it's touted as one of the better, like, fighting games, or just one of the better JoJo games in the first place. So I'd wager that it would at least be touted as something a little bit held higher in regard. Here. Here. Then Holkun can go about here. There we go. That was my original reason for wanting to upgrade my PC in 2022, but only just this month got that done. Congrats on that, by the way. It's always nice to know when others are able to get a slightly beefier machine, especially considering we're kind of just getting out of the rut of PC sales as being just crypto machines. Oops. Here. Then a little bit. There and there, and we get a healthy line here. And while netcode isn't bad, it's not up to modern standard. Ugh, okay. Yeah, if the netcode is not up to modern standard, that would certainly kill it. That's a shame, too. I know a few people who are relatively excited for All-Star Battle Royale to come out. Oops. Too hard, Jude. There we go. Need to make this a little bit Skeletory just because he's opening his mouth like a lunatic for this. And this would be the neck. What other fighting games should we actually be keeping an eye out for coming up? I know Them's Fighting Herds has been getting a few more updates lately, but I'm not sure if there's enough of a community surrounding that one to bother trying to get into it. I'm pretty sure it does, but I'm just not 100% sure. Fighting Herds takes a certain type of person. And what might that certain type of person be, just so that way I know going into it? Because I know that can be a bit of a separate question at the end of the day. There we go. We get a little bit of a stud here. People who like animals. I don't think Them Fighting Herds is just for bronies. Like, you can still have people who are just interested in the general idea of My Little Pony and be like, okay, this is a cute little fighting game. There we go. Probably switch to the hard eraser at this rate. We're kind of just working with lines now. Oops. Let's see here. I'm also realizing I probably should have just grabbed the Kakoween lollipop scene as reference for this, shouldn't I? Oops. There we go. Mechanically, it's good, and they pull a lot of good inspiration from other games. The one problem I've heard a couple times is that the animations are disconcerting since people are used to looking at humanoids in a fighting game. Not sure if that's the right word we're looking for, but... Like, is that cow ducking or standing? Okay. So to me, at least, that sounds like a skill issue? Because if you're learning a fighting game, then that's something that you just need to learn, right? It shouldn't matter that much that... Yeah, that's not wrong. It does just kind of feel to me like, yes, it's going to be different having a fighter that is not humanoids, but like, so what? It's nice to have a change of pace. Oh, my phone is going nasty. Actually, I should plug in my phone. 1 second. Okay. Forgot that I was doing some Arknight stuff, and that was draining the battery super goddamn hard. Jirno's a pretty man. Jirno can have eyelashes. And then apparently these guys just have eyelashes under their eyes, or just some really, really heavy mascara. Because I don't got the faintest goddamn clue what I'm doing right now, but it's working for my head. there. And then get the nose in. There we go. In any case, if you've ever seen half a dozen random Mugen fights, you've probably seen 24 non-humanoid combatants whacking each other with hoods and flippers. Yeah, it's been a while since I've really checked in with the Mugen side of things, because it's not something I ever played, but it was something that I at least watched, because it was fun to watch the random nonsensical nature of Mugen. But yeah, you usually didn't have to worry about having just humanoid fighters in Mugen, and that was a good change of pace, I feel. See here. Can I get that chunky ass eyebrow in here while giving a bit of a upper brow? I apparently can. About here. Let me move that over a bit. There we go. Not to forget, 12.3 has a big fat catfish. Yeah, at least when you're doing the story mode for 12.3, having the big fat catfish is at least a good change of pace. Although they don't make the catfish do that much, so it's a little bit easier. Actually, this part should probably be the slightly calmer side, and then this side is the sharp side. There we go. The catfish is at least relatively easy to read, because he doesn't duck ever, and he's kind of just there to make your life a bit worse, which I suppose isn't a bad thing at the end of the day. There we go. And then you're getting bottom lashes because I say you do. Go. Gotta make sure that we're getting this in as well. Let's see. What other fighting games have weird mechanics to them? I guess in Some Night, in Under Night, the final boss in that game as well isn't exactly human. You're more so fighting a wall than an animal, but it does... Under Night Inbirth? Is that the right one? What one am I thinking of that has that fight? Either way, there is one that seems to have a fight where you're basically fighting a Megazord that's being controlled by a person, but it's definitely a bit of a trickier situation. Let's see here. Do that. Oh, right, Melty Blood. That's why I know about it. Yeah, the original Melty Blood at the very least. At the end of that game, I remember the mech fight. Oof. Okay. And my favorite fighter of all time is a big fat vomiting worm. Arakune in BlazBlue? You fight that lady sitting on the giant robot's hand. It's a silly fight. That is an extremely silly fight. I'm not sure who exactly, like, vetted that fight for that game, but I mean, it could have been worse, is all I'm saying. Just so I don't piss off too many multi-blood players that may swing by here. There. That extra lineage here. The nose is mostly done. I don't know why Araki does this, but he has lines on everyone's faces to signify the side of the face. So sure. Let's see. In any case, the story is... Oh. Don't worry, multi-blood players aren't defensive about the story mode. In any case, the story is good despite that fight. And then this is my main in Blackheart. Ah. Okay, that's definitely a game I haven't seen before. Sharmakai. Good name. Definitely not something that I know about, but... There's Mouse. Looks like an interesting fight. Is he a bit of a zoner, then, considering he spits worms? Or am I reading the context of the fighting style wrong? Let's see here. There. Additional eye can go here. Let's see, currently praying that the paper is enough to fit the pose. Hopefully it is Holger, but don't worry too much if it's not. Actually, this wouldn't go on his chin, would it? This would go under his chin. Let's see, he's mid-range. Worms are mostly a pressure tool or a combo extender? Okay. And it's an obscure game, but I'm so damn happy I found it. It's always nice when you're able to find the obscure games that kind of just fit your needs, isn't it? Because they usually just fit some sort of niche that makes things relatively easy for you to just kind of hammer out and have fun with at the end of the day. There. Gotta worry about the gold plate that sits on his neck guard. Oot. There we go. And then it's got some swirly bobs on it. And grab this. Then one more, which just kind of leads into our hoop friend. Here. Get rid of a bit of stuff in there. there. Let's see here. Lighter head can be here. Then that works. There's going to be a thumb right here. Pressing this switch down. Which will lead up to a thumb. Coming down to there. We will have our finger coming in like so, just so that way the hand's not so fucking massive. Alright, and since it was one of the only games I could get to run on the old hardware, I used it back into fighting games, to get back into fighting games last year. Okay. That's pretty good then. There it is. I know at least when it comes down to getting back into fighting games, I know that ends up being one of the harder things for folks to end up doing, if only because of the fact that the options for getting into fighting games lately have been skyrocketing, for lack of better phrasing. So if you're able to at least get into one, I think that's just a good sign in general. So this basically gets to go in most of the way. Because I know, at least from my history of playing various fighting games at the very least, I did kind of start with BlazBlue, just because that was kind of part of the era where we're also going to be doing this for a while. I mean, no offense to the Digimon thing, but I need some actual music. Ouch. First spot. I found out recently it's an intimidating genre for new people to get into. If you mean fighting games, then definitely, yeah. Fighting games end up being just awkward for people to just figure out, if only because there's a lot of back-end stuff that people don't necessarily think about when it comes to fighting game mechanics and such. Um, Here, we're gonna shorten these fingers up just a wee bit. They feel weird to me, being that size. Better? Then one more tiny baby guy at the bottom. Review. Played different games inconsistently up through. Oh, Jesus. I missed a few. And I missed a few posts. Uh, okay, I only missed a few. I probably started with Street Fighter 2 New Challengers in my buddy's pool house somewhere in the early 90s. Probably a little dangerous to be playing video games in the pool, so be careful. Played different games and consistently up through Classic Killer Instinct. Okay. Classic Killer Instinct is definitely a little bit hard for people nowadays, but it's definitely an option to work with if you still have it. So it just never struck me as terrifying, but I guess people are afraid coming into a genre that takes a little practice when today you can just keep playing Overwatch or whatever. Oh, that's true, and I kind of hate that. But that is where gaming is nowadays. Heavy tutorializing and very simple combat tends to make gamers dull, but not the worst thing in the world. There we go. But it does help a little bit in just keeping the general audience entertained, so I can't fault it too much. Like this, the gold band will come down here. Oh, that's not good. Phone, you need to stay plugged in, please and thank you. Ow. That's probably fine. Then here there would be one. Leads us up to here. Oh, that's the thumb, you dork. That's why there's weird lines there. I think in part... Hmm. Just so I can talk. But I find when it does come to certain genres of games, some are a little bit harder for people to get into than others. Just because I know that various, like, platformer games are a little bit hard for folks to actually get in on. That should probably be fine. I'm fine with giving Journo a little bit of a looser collar. Because I know things like platformers are technically easy to get into, but when you look at things like Celeste, that's not really a pick up and play kind of game. Not exactly, at least. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game, just means it's a little bit harder for people to actually try. Because you can't really teach them about hyper jumps at the first stage in the game, even though it kind of does. But fighting games do ask you to do a few things, which are not super conventional, at least. And remember that this is actually just going into the armpit as well. I've been treating it a little bit too tubular. And thank you, arm, for doing your job, making my life a hell of a lot easier in the process. What am I missing? The tongue. Means this gets to be a wee bit bigger. There's usually a faint line on the tongue. I'll definitely turn the Black Sabbath into a full color drawing. Okay. Well, hopefully you are at least enjoying it so far. Okay, hands, you can do this. Taking a break to sketch a spicy boy. Get that going. And of course, the sketch must come first. Of course, of course. Sketch always needs to come first. This is supposed to be a little bit more square. Being a little bit generous with this. Oh, you could see his ear at that angle? Really? No, not that angle. That's probably just squishing it out a bit much. Let's see here. That's okay. He's got a decently muscular chest, but we won't be able to show that because I don't know how to draw muscles. Even though that is a kinqueed, kind of like. Thanks, Holger, for reminding us of that kink. Good. Here, we'll have eyes here. I could actually just move that up, couldn't I? That line doesn't need to be that far down. It was not intentional. Wasn't intentional, but that was the end result anyways, so congratulations, you've succeeded in awakening a door for me that I forgot about. Because unfortunately, I lose my keys to that closet a little bit too easily at times. And this kind of has a heart on it, which is veiled as a double dot. Here. He's got rhinestones all the way around this heart, doesn't he? Gierno, that's awfully gaudy of you. And I'm not sure what to say. Let's see here. Curve would be like so. Here. There we go. I guess fighting games are probably something I should get into again, but I definitely have no time available to me in order to actually get some fighting game practice in on the regular. Because with between, at the very least, if I can talk properly, living in a singular household, because obviously I ran away from work, so there's no humans living in the cabin anymore. Having full-time work, as well as doing all this, does leave one a little bit wanting for time, unfortunately. I'm also putting a few too many of these on here, but don't worry too much. I'm just having a bit of fun with it. Here. Going out mildly okay, actually, considering I'm just not one who likes drawing people very much. Then rhinestone, rhinestone. I'm gonna say that one's covered up a little bit. Here. But at least from what I recall, when it comes down to fighting games of ye old times, I recall playing a good bit of Mortal Kombat at the very least. So it's safe enough to say that I did like Sub-Zero at least a little bit. But I know that Mortal Kombat kind of comes in and out lately with just the ability of the players that are actually sticking with it, because it's not super easy to just kind of keep up with NetherRealm Studios and whatever the fuck they're trying to do lately. This line's also a little bit off. I'm sorry, bud. I messed up with you. Let's see. Original Mortal Kombat was definitely the first fighting game I ever played in a real arcade. There is definitely some good memories when it comes down to Mortal Kombat, at least. They had some fun. trying to make that game work for a general audience, and I think they did a relatively okay job with that. But I know that it's not always the easiest to keep up with, just because Mortal Kombat's kind of one of those games that they treated as generational, especially in between things like Injustice and everything else that they've ended up working on. Yeah, this is actually hurting my hand now. I haven't played anything that came out in the last 10 to 15 years, but none of it does it the same way for me. Yeah, I feel like when you're trying to get back into an old franchise and then hopping back into current stuff, you're kind of setting yourself up a little bit for some trouble, if only because not much is really able to replicate the same nostalgic feeling that we had of our baby's first murder fest. But that is kind of just the fun when it comes down to trying the various games that come out, is to see what actually does work for you. Because sometimes it'd be nice if they actually stick and get the right landing in terms of the older feeling of games that have come out. This comes down to here. So says I, the Lorax. I wish they'd struck with the original art, or I wish they'd stuck with the original art style. Imagine how good that would look these days if they still used actors, but with modern filming and capture techniques. It'd be interesting, but I do feel like they wouldn't be putting that much effort into it anymore. Like, as nice as that would end up being. Also, light revelation. That's a bit too thick, but that's why these looked a little bit too babby. Grab that. Go. Getting a little better at getting these lines out there. There we go. Let's see. Pressure is on bigger studios just to have everything be 3D models in some presentable manner, or some presentation or another. And New Mortal Kombat's to be looking more cartoony than gory, to me. Not to be, or not to be. Yeah, the English language is kind of a bitch sometimes, Omega, so I definitely understand that. But they have at least been trying to stick with market demand, so I can't 100% fault them, but like, it's hard to keep up with the whims of your shareholders as well as still trying to please your audience at the end of the day. So hopefully NetherRealm Studios, the next thing that they end up cooking up, can at least be a little more original feeling, instead of feeling like everything else that just kind of exists. Which I suppose is not a bad thing, but grab you, grab you, Grab our crystal gems because this is now a Steven Universe reference. And these do kind of need to be orbical. It is kind of a heart, but it is more meant to be testicles to intimidate his enemies. Grab that. Then we'll have one very obvious circle here. And then one less obvious circle here. Then that little gold border is probably going to go here, just so that way it can imply that his chest is puffed out a little bit. There we go. And as a general rule, I try to not have any expectations on continuations of classic franchises. That's probably the best thing that you can end up doing, Omega. I know that it can always be a little bit of a problem when you do start getting like sequels of games that you knew and or love, and then they kind of just come out to be functionally hot garbage. Oh, I actually got it all in. That thumb looks a little bit too big now. Let's cut you down to size a little bit, my dude. You can be big still, but I don't need you that big. Here. Yep. They can still turn out to be good, but then they go in vastly different directions than the original material. Yeah. And that is at least a bit of a problem with some of the franchises out there that have just kind of taken their heels out of the dirt and moved on, which does kind of suck when it happens, but sometimes a company just needs to move on, which does kind of just suck the most, but there's not too much you can do about that, unfortunately. There we go. Really hate JoJo lips. I cannot emulate them to save my life. But it looks weird without them. There we go. Let's see. So often you get a decent game that relates to its predecessors in name only, and really just makes half its money because of its name. That's called brand loyalty. That can either get yourself shot in the foot, or you can get yourself rolling in a good amount of dough. For a sketch, this is probably fine. Let's see here. This is probably not what I'm looking for. What happens if I do this? Yeah, kinda gives me what I want. Not to the best degree possible, but I guess if we're going for oil painting, then this is kind of what I wanted to happen. Wait. Hmm. Oh, not that. That should work, actually. Because it's just a lighter, so it's not really going to have that much to it. Okay. Shoot. Keep forgetting that he's got a fairly pink jumper. A little too big. Get that in there. Here. That needs to be pink too. Then here. And then JoJo's lips and noses are superior, you're saying, Omega. Are those the lips that you'd want to get your lips on, or are we talking a different kind of superiority here? This would all be the pink. This is also going to look a wee bit off when we're just doing the one color for now, so don't worry, we're going to try and make sure it looks fine when we get all the skin and stuff in. Maybe, I mean artistically. Artistically getting your lips on someone else's lips is probably not going to get you dates very quickly, Omega. Just saying. Yeah. Although I'm sure it would work on some folks. Let's see. I appreciate how they're stylized and yet somehow very realistic and practical. Yeah, they really are, aren't they? Oh, I'm gonna get the author's name wrong, aren't I? Toriyama is Dragon Ball. I don't remember who the JoJo author is. Araki? I think Araki is JoJo. The way that Araki ends up getting through his design philosophies is probably something that's worth researching for anyone who's interested in art, because he has some fun getting his stuff together, and it's not necessarily the, well, for lack of better pun, straightest way of actually getting some character colors and design in. But he at least has some fun with it, which is probably more than you can say about than a few people who are doing kind of bog standard character designage, which is not the greatest thing in the world, but they try. Yep. This. I guess that's supposed to line up with the chest. That's why this looked weird. There we go. And you usually don't see those features accented much at all in anime. No, not usually. Noses, I feel, are accentuated a little bit depending on what series you're looking at, but it's not really a core theme or anything like that. And lips, definitely not. You usually just have, oh, hey, girls have full lips, guys don't have lips scenario, which is not great. Oh, that actually got on mic, didn't it? I'm sorry. I should probably mute my mic when I feel there's a bigger crack coming. Boy. Seems like only the safer thing to do, to be honest. Oops. Let's see. There are two videos that show Rocky drawing his characters, and in one of them he uses books that have sculptures made by Michelangelo. Of course, there's the fashion magazines too. I feel like Mikey is probably a better person to have as a design philosopher because the way that he does his statues is a little bit weird, but definitely appreciated in modern society at least. Okay, so ink is done. Journo's a growing boy, so gonna have to do our best with the skin, which nope. I think that's a good middle tone. Whoosh. Thankfully, there's not too much skin to actually get on, but still want to be a little careful. That, and if I recall from the JoJo color philosophy, Araki was kind of just fine with anyone being really any color that you would want. So you can kind of get away with a few different color variations of characters, as long as it's still like within the ballpark of what you're looking for. Because that's also why the anime team was able to go kind of apeshit when they were coloring fights and such. Go. Get all up in the ear here. go. The lips, I'm aware, at least the top one at least, will need to be a separate color, but we'll get there. Don't you worry, we'll get there. Then the thumb. Okay. I think that's good for now. Hmm. Too bright? Yeah, that's fine. Ooch. Get in there, please. Let's see here. He's got relatively normal eyes, so... Relatively normal does not mean pink eye, Jude. There we go. Oh, I also missed a bit of skin. We'll fix that. There we go. The hair is a nice blonde color. Oh god, no. That's not what I'm looking for. There we go. That's better. And little bit of a deeper orange to do... Actually, don't need that much orange. There we go. Get all his gold plates in. Because if Giorno's gonna dress up, Giorno's gonna do his damnedest to make sure that he's flaunting the Italian fashion statement as much as he possibly can. And I'm glad we're getting closer to finishing this, just because my eye is starting to get a little bit funky. Yeah, for a sketch of a human at least, I think we did pretty good. This is still not exactly my forte, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to keep references open whenever I'm drawing people. Because I just can't seem to intuit exactly where I need to put a human's foot in order for them to do the proper side shuffle that I require of them. But this is at least coming out okay. Yep. Ow. Black Sabbath hat is nuts and the cape is quite tricky. It is, yeah. Black Sabbath is an interesting stand when it comes down to it, and they did try and make sure that he looked relatively evil enough just to kind of fit in with the part 4? Is Golden Wind part 4? It's been a hot minute. It kind of just fits in with the entire Mafia theme, to be honest with you, especially for the first encounter that or at least Giorno has to deal with. I don't think they have... Oh, is it 5? Oh, yeah, right. Stardust Crusaders, Diamond is Unbreakable, Golden Wind. Right, okay. You can tell how behind I am. Giorno... Jojo? Color your eyes, my dude. The green. Okay. So good, man. Don't worry about spoiling me, Holger. I haven't watched a lot of JoJo's, but I've seen a lot of JoJo content. So I at least know the plot, and I don't care that much about, like, story spoilers at all. I'm kind of just here chilling with the JoJo series. I'll eventually just properly watch it and catch up with it, but not right now. It's a wee bit much for a busy bot like myself. Oh, right. This brush, please. Not too bad. You know, my eyes are also getting destroyed a bit. Yeah, I feel like when you're trying to emulate the JoJo style, at least a little bit, you do kind of need to focus a little bit on your angles, which can get a little bit taxing on the mind, as well as the eyeballs that are attached to it. Yeah, I shouldn't really bother coloring in that area. Yep. Then we color in the testicles. All right, neighbor, you don't need to drop all of your cooking utensils. That's fine. There we go. Not too bad. What about the blue? They are ladybug buttons. Yeah, they are the ladybug buttons. I am just kind of adding extra conjecture, which realistically shouldn't be added in the first place. But it's fine. They're cute. And they fit Giorno a good bit, just as a nice contrast to the rest of his color scheme. Oops. Plus, I recall them being slightly helpful in the story, so he did at least use them efficiently. Here. Here. That's a bit better. And then a nice juicy red for this. See a little juice here. Ow. Admittedly, that could be significantly worse. Let's see here. And that bottom one doesn't usually get it, but oh, whoops. I noticed the eyebrows. I forgot about those. Now his face doesn't look as weird. He didn't shave off his eyebrows. No, no. That wouldn't work out very well for him at all. Is kinda looking like he's side-eyeing your limoncello, though. So it's probably a good idea to be careful around him. Let's see here. Probably drew his chest a little bit wide, but that's honestly fine. You know what would probably be a good thing to do? Oops. I put these usually. Spicy Giorno. I didn't even look at how that was spelled. That is fine. That bit colored in. I'm gonna have to work on my seduction skills, I think, but that's relatively close to your reference. Now I'd probably have to redo some things to make it look any closer, but considering this has taken me 2 hours, that's probably a bit much. Let's see here. This hard, slightly smaller. Um, um, there we go. Only took us about 2 hours to get that going. Oof. And we're at the 3-hour mark now? Not too bad, at least. Dude, that will not be spelled correctly. I am fine with that. Dude. Get your quests. Not part of gifts. I need sketches. A spicy lad for Holger. Okay. Let's just clean things up just a little bit here. Up. Also, thank you, Omega, for the extra hydration. I probably need that while I was focusing on that. Hmm. Let's see here. Ow. Oh god, my joint's stiffened up there. 1 second. Ugh. Falls out of a portable. Falls out of a portable. Falls out of a portal. Why can I not say portal? Falls out of a portal while fighting a dragon with Cardinal George Mario. I'm not sure what name you're referencing on that one, Kenny, but welcome in. Hopefully the dragon's not causing too much of a problem for you. We'll have to make sure to take out our dragon repellent, just so that way we can keep the cabin safe. But how are things on your side so far, Kenny? Okay, I'm gonna need to stand up after this. Oh, he's the Pope. Okay. Unfortunately, I do kind of have to rely on Robot Jesus, so the Pope is not really someone I pay attention to too much. Oops. So, I was just drawing for 2 hours there. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break or so, and then I'll be right back. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do after this, because an hour of Digimon, while I am mildly sidetracked now, is not going to end up very well. So I'll be back. Please make sure to take care of yourselves. There we go. Hello, everybody. Hope we're able to get a little bit of a break in. That. And Mr. Wiggles gets to get the front row seat again. Okay, we good. I think we'll just kind of finish up what we were doing before, just because an hour of anything isn't really going to be good, so we may as well just kind of stick with this. We gotta finish this one side quest anyhow. Let's see. Also, Jude on low power mode is adorable. Well, thank you, Kenny. We certainly try our best to make sure that everything is nice and welcoming for everyone, so adorable is kind of what we're shooting for. At least when the opportunity arises. Also, when did you get vampire teeth? Well, it's more specifically shark teeth, because all of my teeth are now pointy. But the shark teeth kind of came in... Come on. Shark teeth kind of came in with the new model, just because I'm mildly biased towards it. So I very much care for it. And I figured, why not? I kind of need a cutting implement and bodied into this machine anyways, so... May as well do our finest. Alright, I can't hack the real world. May as well do our finest, just kinda, you know, be approachable and sensible. And thank you for the coin and the pie. And the balls, Kenny. Very much appreciated. You sunbathing? I guess we're just going to be talking to functionally a statue for this quest. That's probably not the best thing in the world. Oh, yeah, we're just going to be mindlessly talking to the statue for a good long while. Probably not the best thing to do, but... How'd it go? Nothing. Didn't react even when it saw you. It can't be the same one? No. It's probably just another guy who's also being just another bit of a pervert. So we're gonna have to be careful. Watching if anything happens, we'll be right here. Okay. I guess working with the police is always a little bit of a problem. Noted. Make sure to be careful, everyone, if they ever approach. Don't strike the first blow, otherwise any arrest would be unlawful. So I just have to taunt the poor statue man, then. They're really just working me rather ragged. But let's see what we can do with this. I'm sure this isn't the first time that we've stared blankly at a foreign object and tried talking to it. Oh. Oh, that pissed him off. Apparently he doesn't like talking about family. And they just want me to frickin' poke the bear. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Us being a scapegoat is nothing new when it comes down to this. Do an annoying dance? Why is that an annoying dance? Dude. Oh, no, never mind, he pissed. If your character was about 1.5 feet shorter with brown hair, they'd kind of look like me. Between you and Lemma, y'all can make avatars that are just a little similar to what I actually look like. Well, at least on my side, my avatar isn't really chunky at all. I'm just in, like, bigger clothing. So I'm not sure if it'll be exactly the same. Ah. Were the options? You there would like a moment of your time? Yeah, and off he goes. You guys were not really expecting that. I meant you're in-game? Oh. Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, main character Kun is probably going to be one of the easier ones to imprint on. Oh. Hello. Mean the weird character costume guy? I think I saw him in front of the general store. In front of the general store, you say? Would that not be this? Oh, no, there's a lot more people over here. Saw him near a suit store. In front of a clothing store called Koto. In front of the general store, in front of Koto. Oh. That's at least the suit store. What about Koto? I guess that's Koto. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, hi Date. What's up? Now, what do we as the main character couldn't get? Ah, we get the Wrath of God. Noted. This is so tense, I can't bring myself to turn around. We're gonna get about kicked in the balls, aren't we? Oh, wow. Okay. I wouldn't be so cocky if I were you, kid. If you dig any deeper, you're dead meat. This is your first and last warning. Now get out of here. You didn't see or hear anything, son. Don't you forget it. May have to leave stream if the lag continues on your end. Oh, actually, no, that may have been my side for once, Kenny. At least a little bit of it would be mine. I did drop a few frames in there. Looked everywhere but couldn't find them. How about you? Nope, didn't see or hear anything. Okay, noted. This entire quest line is just going to be ridiculously long, isn't it? Well, I guess we just got threatened by people dressing up in mascot costumes. But I'm the only one he's made contact with. Surely I should tell Mariyoshi. Oh, Jesus. I'm watching you. Okay, he can hear me. Noted. I'm also downloading a game on Steam. Okay, well, yeah, if you're downloading a game on Steam and you're trying to watch, like, a Canadian stream, then you're probably going to end up having some problems, Kenny. Or at least a Canadian stream with a semi-mixed internet connection. Oh, wait, we need Ikebukuro for this game. Back to Hoodie we go. I half wish I could put up a controller display with this new controller because it has extra buttons that I fiddle with constantly. Dude. Yes, we will use the PC. Mr. Navid is clearly becoming a problem. Oh. Okay, intermediate hacker. I guess we'll take that. Maybe it's time to ask Mirai what's afoot. I'm also pretty sure that you and me are exact same time zone, unlike me and Lemma. I am an EST, yeah. And I know Lemma's on, like, the West Coast, so there's not too much you can really do about time zones, unfortunately. But that's partly why I end up streaming semi-later, is just simply because of the fact that I'm awake around this time. But that does kind of get a little bit messy when dealing with the other time zones so far. Pretty sure it's been half an hour. There we go. I guess it does help to some extent as well, just so that way I can kind of link up to people on the West Coast a bit easier, since they're just awake right now. Hey, Mirai. Go to the hacker forum. It seems there's trouble brewing, but the destinies of several people intertwine there. Go and ascertain their destinies. That is your destiny. The hacker forums? Never mind. I can eat shit. You're 2 hours ahead of me. Well, I guess that's just time zones in a nutshell, so completely understandable. The hacker forums. Hacker forums. There we go. Oh. Well, these are all fairly generic people. A fresh Gomamon has just come in. Oh, look at that little guy. Isn't he adorable? It's a one-off, so it's a little pricier than other rookie Digimon, but it'll serve you well. Snap it up sooner, you'll miss out. Any takers? Well, he's out. I mean, will I be a taker? Strong hacker team, be careful of them. I think they called... Let's see. Oh, right, yeah, it would still say we're doing art, wouldn't it? I forgot to change that. Shoot. And... we just got spooked by an ATM, so let's move on, shall we? Shoot. Thank you, Kenny. Let's see here. That man just walked off. Where, pray tell, am I supposed to go? I guess we'll just kind of have to fiddle around and see. Hopefully everyone who is just kind of chilling for now, though, is at least having a good night. I know that I do tend to get a little bit quiet while we're doing various art things, but that's just because I need some level of focus to actually get that stuff done. But we'll just kind of finish up with some Digimon. We don't have too much longer to go for tonight anyhow. And fun fact, that's also why I can never join your guys' group chats, just because of my time zone. Yeah, that is the unfortunate truth when it comes down to it. It's not very friendly to the time zones that are a little bit too far east of them. I don't even know where that guy went. But... hey. Apparently getting tired already. That is partly why it just kind of works the way that it does right now, is just because it primarily hits the western coast and just kind of homogenizes into that kind of a setup. Oh, duh, yeah. Check BBS now that an event happens. That's usually how this game works. That orange-haired guy's probably wanting us to save that Gomamon. Yeah, battle for Digimarket. Oh no, it's Erica. Cases for both of these opposed to and in favor of Digimart. Oh hey, mem up. Pick a memory up. Thank you. I see you accepted the market cases. Just come to my room and I'll explain. Yeah, that's fair. Please let us know, Erica. What be happening, girl? I called my brother into Totosai. Alright, yeah, all four of us in the room then. Multiple cases related to the market were posted on the bulletin board at the same time. I wanted to discuss what to do with them. Over to you. Alright, Wormy buddy. Let us know what's going on. Sasuke, of course. You gotta be careful about Sasuke. And I'm assuming we actually have to choose? Both cases are on hold for now. Accepting them without discussing it first would have caused some serious issues. So what do we do? Digimon trading is illegal and more than a little immoral. But as I said before, Callan's existence relies on people like that. We can't just rush into this based on someone's biased sense of justice. We need to think of it carefully. Okay, so this is one of the more obvious choices, then, that we'll have to worry about a bit. Let's see. That's honestly understandable, Kenny. Just as an obvious point, though, this is like Japan in the middle of the summer. So the coats are a little bit less helpful for them in the first place. But I do understand it. It does look a little bit annoying that she's wearing it like that, but that's just for fashion. Hate to sit on the fence like this, but I really don't know which way to go. Oh, hey, Wormmon. How about we let me decide? Okay. Sure, just put the entire weight of the decision on me. You're new here. Whichever side you choose to help shouldn't rock the boat too much. Could work. We could just hand both cases off to him. Oh, this is gonna go well. You're part of Hoodie. It's up to you to decide which side we'll support. Listen to what they both have to say and then make your decision. Don't worry, whatever happens, we got your back. Okay. I'm not sure what this will exactly affect, but I guess we'll see. They're putting an actual important decision on us. I'll start with Kataro from the side that wants to get rid of the market. He didn't give me his location. Maybe I'll just find him in the black market. I'll check out the hacker forum. Okie doke. First things first, then. We gotta explore our clientele a little bit. Eden. Go. Let's just see what we can do here. Oh, that's this guy. Hey, buddy. That top. Yeah, I am. We're just kind of discussing things first. You want to hear what I have to say before deciding? What's the point? They're clearly evil. Once you hear all about what they've been doing, you want to destroy them just as much as I do. And I'm sure you heard about how badly Digimon are treated in the black market. They keep them locked in tiny cages and don't give them enough food. And then when they run out of space, they just dispose of them without a second thought. There are a lot of hackers you see. Digimon is nothing more than computer programs, but they're living things? It's just disgusting, no matter how you look at it. That's why I'm so desperate to save them. You gotta help. Or does Hoodie support the market? Or do you just accept a case from someone named Sosuke? I saw his case on the bulletin board. Have you sided with him? No, we're just looking into shit first. But think about it carefully. You wouldn't want to be known as assisting criminals, now would you? Sure. We'll help you save Digimon. We're doing it at noon tomorrow. Okay, so at least we know that there's a planned raid happening very, very soon. And hear from Sasuke. I don't know where he is either. I'll ask Erica if he were his location. Oh, okay, yeah. Just calling her up is probably the safest bet. Eden free. Okie doke. That works for me. I'm guessing the side quest will also probably just be the last thing that we end up doing. I'd imagine this is probably going to take us a few more minutes at least. Eden free area. Hello, Sosuke. How's it going, buddy? Assume you already heard from those who want to see the end of it. Yeah. Well, let me make our argument. We never wanted to rock the boat, but the group pushing for the Digimarket to be abolished left us no choice. There's a supply and demand relationship between the market and us hackers. We want programs, and they sell them. What's so bad about hackers trading hacking tools? Digimon are tools that are there to be used. And now we have a group of people making a fuss and saying crazy things like Digimon are actually alive. They couldn't be more wrong. But we're not asking you to destroy them. We're just asking to help drive them away so that the market can just keep doing what it does. Oh, hey. planning an attack at the market tomorrow. Sorry, I gotta go, but just please go to Digimarket at the Hacker Forum tomorrow. I guess then we'll have to come to the decision right at the heat of the battle, and then whoever we side for, we're gonna have to fight something else. Thinks the Digimon are just programs and wants the Digimarket to continue operating. That does kind of open a weird moral conundrum at the end of the day, doesn't it? Because we kind of know the Digimon are alive anyways. So, their viewpoint is objectively wrong anyways. Shoot. Think of this through by myself. I got a big day tomorrow. That you do, Jude, my boy. That you do. You're kind of choosing between open trading markets for Digimon and just being friends with them. So what's the best option here? I'll be honest, I'm still kind of half on the fence, but... You're still not sure? There's always the option of not helping either side. Wait, there is a third option? They're actually going to give us the non-committal thing and just let them destroy each other? Protag has the death stare. Protag very much does have the death stare. There'll be a Dominion battle. Make sure you have 3 battle members. Well, we do got 3 battle members. I just gotta make sure I have the right ones. Which, probably not Sistermon CL. Probably want Durandamon. And then let's just check where we are on potential Digivolutions. Pildramon's still a bit away, because he needs his health up just a wee bit more. And then, what else do I need? Is it 150 defense and then 150 speed? Speed is just about there. Defense still needs a little bit of work, though. Then Cress is still a ways off. You're still a ways off, because you need to get to level 60. You can go up to the thing that I've wanted. Which... Wingdramon looks weirdly evil? Also, what is that wingspan on you, buddy? You've got solar panels embedded in your wings, but it's also one gigantic chunk held together by 2 brackets. Oh boy, you did not have a fun time digivolving, did you? Let's see, you are probably going to there, but we're still a ways off. Savior Huck is nowhere close. Wargrowl is going to be nowhere close. Doru Gray is going to be nowhere close. Ability 80. Oof. Why do you need ability 80? Savior Huck, Wargrowl, Phantomon. I don't even know where I'm going with Phantomon. Then you can go up to here. The Fish. Then Way. Way is not going anywhere. There we go. Then here. Can anybody here do anything fun? You can actually go up. And we want to get you up to that thing. Because there is a Ulforce, I believe, or some form of Galgamon at the end of the rainbow. I think we want you to go to Pangemon or Zudomon. Which you're just missing speed by a little bit. Okay. Say we're relatively good on that end. Magna? We'll eventually need to get Magna up a little bit too. He's close to that. Decently close to that. And then also close to this, which just requires defense, which is a lot more likely. Okay. Can we actually fit Magna? No, we can't fit Magna in with us right now. And then you, good sir. You don't have the Eggs of Destiny this time. We're just gonna put you up to there. And then move you. Perfect. Alrighty then, Dominion battle time. Let's see if we can get that done. Probably should save first, just in case. And then into the hacker forum we go. We'll have to see what kind of keyboard warriors we're actually up against this time, because I'm not sure how hard this is going to be. Tiger Vestmon should help us out a wee bit, but... So, what do we want to do here? You don't want us to stop us from destroying the market? You got some nerve. First, here to defend something we believe in. You're just here to destroy the Digimarket based on some crazy nonsense. Better think twice. You're so wrapped up in your own misguided sense of justice that you never stop to consider the people who use the Digimarket. I almost wonder if there would be a way to convince them to treat the Digimon as living people. Just because that would make things a little bit better. Oh. Do we not get a say in it? Okay, no, we got a say in it. So what do we do? I need to pick a side right now. To be honest, I'm not sure still. I did say yes, but now that we've been given a third option of just staying neutral throughout the whole thing and just seeing what happens to them. We probably should just destroy the market, right? Maybe make something that's a little bit more ethical. Sure. We'll put our big boy pants on for this one. We'll try to be the heroes that our Digimon try and teach us to be. Alrighty then. Let's see how hard this Dominion battle is, because this game can be a bit of a dick puncher at times. Wop. Oof, okay, that's definitely a bit of a mixed bag. And he's got pretty heroic Digimon too. Alright. That's pretty Gucci. And then you just have Geogray and Galgamon. You are going to be the weak link. Go up here. You can probably only do the same thing. We do also need to find enough points to actually succeed at this, though. Which means those two are probably going to back up, and Jude is probably going to have to go into the middle for now. At least if I'm reading the mood correctly on this. Alright, buddy. You're going to have to defend with your goddamn life, but that's kind of the idea when it comes down to this. 42. Okay, that does nothing. Vulcan Palm 2 also does nothing. Gucci. Panic Wisp is annoying, but terrible accuracy, so cool. Goodbye, Meramon. You... Yeah, that works. Go nuts, bud. And then you just Mach Rush? That should be enough. Cool. Defense skills are always nice when it comes down to this. And then you... I'm just gonna back up with you for now. Because they're all just gonna go straight after Jude's throat, which is not super bad, but we just gotta be careful. Especially because of that. Let's see here. Get rid of the tank buddy, because we don't need to worry about you too much. Let's see. Electric virus. Eesh. That's not good. I guess just heavy strike that, just to get rid of it. Yeah, good enough. And then you can go for this Zweiglance, which is not enough to kill, but that's fine. Still a defense. Then you move back. These guys are being aggressive, at least. And I'm not sure if that's a good thing for them or not. Really? Ripping net from Togemon? It's not even what you want to do normally. Why'd you want to do it now? Then you get a bit of a poke in. And then just attack? Yeah, I'm close. But we're mostly just defending anyway, so... Now, what do we want to do with good old Jude here? Because as soon as we move him from this spot, that means that they're just going to be able to snag it back anyways. So it's probably best to just leave him there. And then we'll move... Oh, actually, no. It would have been a slightly smarter decision to move him up. Okay. That's fine, though. Poor little Gargermon is not ready for this, unfortunately. Enjoy your life, Gargermon. You tried. Then we go there. And then these two are almost done for. So I'm going to worry that much about this. Especially if their accuracy is hot garbage. Doot doot. Lovely. Good job on the defensive Jude. I guess just go here then. Because you're going to have to kind of stop him anyways. We'll grab that. And it looks like we're 1 point off. Ooh boy. How much of a problem is that going to be? It's not a problem at all. There we go. We win. First try, too, actually. The Dominion battles end up taking me longer just because there's a set time limit in these, usually, which makes it a bit of a problem. That's not too bad. But, yeah, I guess there goes the market. Finished drawing the thing. Now I just need shading, although I gotta do some more studying if I want to do a color version of it. That's probably a good idea, Holger. Good. At least, are you going to be studying like the JoJo's style of shading at all, or are you just going to be worrying more about just a general shading aesthetic that fits your current style? Oh, nice, we got a MasterCard. Okay, we'll take that. Hello, Erica. How be you? Well, the case is finished, but before you go, just tell me what happened. I don't think there was a right choice this time. Both options are pretty valid, and both sides fought for what they believe in. Humans can argue all they like, but the only ones who really know how Digimon feel are the Digimon. Who's right and who's wrong all just depends on your point of view. But what do you think? Do you think Digimon are living things or tools? You don't gotta answer right away. But she does pose the question in her head. Never a good thing. There we go. I'm just gonna shade how I normally shade. There's not a particular style I go for. Alright then. Well, hopefully speaking it works out well for you, Holger. Do you plan on studying a little bit of Bob Ross just to get some inspiration for your shading? Or you got something else in mind? Okay. Fairly intense save point. Oh. This is the Jude failure from the past. Why are they referencing this now? Come on, Ryuji. You can do it, buddy. Ah, Ryuji's got PTSD. Noted. Of course, I do my best to match the features of the original designs, of course. Well, it is usually what you should try to do, but it never hurts to kind of just mess with things a little bit just to suit your own style. I'll just sleep for a very long time and dream of happy little trees. Gotta love it. Oh, okay. Ryuji's just missing. Now oh god. That's not good. Why is he coming here? The acquisition of the Nile Corporation by Kamashiro was illegal. Some rotten underling did it on their own, with no permission, and although it was years ago. I guess I don't have green, I've only got the orange now. So I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I do have the green. From the department manager to the section manager to the cafeteria employees, everyone who was even slightly involved, I fired them all, each and every one. Moving on. From here on out, I shall run the company personally, as its CEO. In a complete change from the old organization, I shall now control the company directly. Decision-making will be faster, and we'll be able to provide the string of new services our customers demand. I'd like to start by taking the first step today. Oh, I'm sure this will end well. Oh no. Why is Ryuji talking with her on a first-name basis? Because you told me Zaxxon's plans, I was able to take preemptive action. If evidence of collusion between Kamashiro and the police was ever to leak out, it would mean the end of poor little old me. That was really a close one. I owe you so much, dear little Ryuji. Thank you for playing corporate cover-up for us. It's very helpful for us to stay illegally in business. We're loyal to the recently deceased president are now out of my way for good. And the way you erase any traces of your steps, pure genius. The demons must have had support to get this strong so quick. Thanks to the internal fighting, Yugo was momentarily distracted and you had your opening, and this was the result. How many hackers are you working with exactly? You are a sly one, Ryuji. I'm loving your style. But working with and controlling directly are two very different things, and there are oh so many ways to manipulate someone directly. Yeah, that's kind of a bad touch sign, dude. You gotta be careful. Team Zaxxon has been gathering hackers together for something pretty big. I want you to take part in it. What do you mean? Looks like it might cause problems for us. I just want you to throw a wrench into their plans. I'm almost certain they're after Under Zero. You know, right? Under Zero is where all the data logs since the founding of Eden are kept. It'd be bad if they found something awkward. Yes? Ryuji, she's got you wrapped around her little finger, doesn't she? Ryuji, what's going on, my dude? You're breaking the first law of tell your bros what's going on. Ah, that's why. Ryuji can literally not afford the treatments for Erica. Okay. Dangerously slow. See you soon, my dear little Ryuji. Soon you'll be free of all worries. Oh, that's not a good sign. Ryuji did have death flags most of this game, but I'm a little bit concerned. Ah, hi Chitose. Yay. We're able to infect everybody with malware nowadays. Doesn't even matter if you don't have braces. I've been thinking something's wrong for a while, like where all the big money for your sister's treatment's coming from. But what's really convinced me was that hacking job. Dude said he thought there was something funny about you when he came to talk to me. Yeah, he told me a few things. Unfortunately, the Judemeister is paying attention, and that's a bit of a problem, Ryuji. It's useless. Dude. I tricked you guys into taking part of this whole dirty business? Ryuji. No. Ryuji. We can just, like, hack into people's bank accounts. We can get money that way, too, if you want. Is her only chance? Oh, no. Dude, Kamashiro's treatment is just gonna get her eaten. That's all that's gonna be happening here. The Tumult of Winter. Okay. I guess we're in Chapter 9 now. That's a relatively good cliffhanger point to actually leave that on, then. Dude. The best way to get money is crime. Exactly. Give me a minute, I'll definitely talk to you soon. Okie doke. Well, I guess we got some side quests, and then Chitose will let us know what's going on. But considering we've got 10 minutes left, I don't really want to start another one, because I'd like to hear the oh, wow. Okay, we get more of the Nabbit lore. And then... Okay, well... I guess this game does at least encourage you to do your side questing. That's at least a good thing. I'm missing an option in here. There's supposed to be 5. That's a bit concerning. But let's just go save in here. This place has relatively chill music anyhow. Alrighty then. My voice is also dying, as I'm sure you may be able to notice. Dude. But do at least want to thank everyone for stopping by for the bit of a Digimon Art Digimon stream. Usually doesn't happen like that, but having the request there does usually help out a little bit, just in terms of getting some stuff additionally in, as well as a bit of extra practice. Let's see here. We'll be back again tomorrow with some Monster Hunter World. I have a few buddies who are playing that, and I do believe that Solace is interested in just kind of having a group that's not going to go at like 90 miles an hour to get past him. So I'm going to at least open up that bracket a little bit, just so that way he has somewhere he can play, and I can force myself to learn Greatsword, because I'm just a bitch with that weapon. Good. There we go. And then Saturday will be our usual art stream for now. We're going to try and finish off that Solace doll, just so that way we have that ready for Solace's birthday when that actually comes to pass. Let's see here. Who's all online? Uchi's on. Is Greatsword as great as it sounds? Well, Greatsword does put out like the highest damage numbers in the game, just in terms of like per hit, if only for the obvious reason that you are smacking someone with a table, so you have a relatively good way of getting stuff done. You know what? I don't usually get a chance to do this, so I kind of want to raid Viper before he quits off. There we go. But Greatsword is a good weapon. I'm just awful with it because it's excessively slow in a game where you kind of need a little bit of speed to have some form of success. Shoot. Viper AS. He's also playing a long-form RPG right now, so we'll probably be able to bother him a little bit. Shoot. Get this. But do at least want to thank everyone for stopping by. Hopefully you've had a nice calming time within the cabin itself. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow with a little bit of Monster Hunter World, and hopefully we can see you then. And if not, then I guess we'll talk with you later. But for now, bye-bye. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1...